Today on the podcast, we have some breaking AI news out of Microsoft. They're unveiling a whole bunch of new features that are going to be going on Bing and all over the place. It's kind of interesting. They essentially just had like a big event where they unveiled a whole bunch of new features. Now, if you want to go read about those, you can go read like 500 articles. This is like my pet peeve, and I already told you about this yesterday, but it's happening again. A bunch of tech journals, essentially there's like one event, and they take like every single little announcement for the event and write like a new article about it. So if you just want to know like a recap of what happened at the event, you have to go and read like 7 different articles. Not my favorite play. It's probably just for clicks and revenue and, whatever. In any case, I'm consolidating all of that for you today. So happy birthday. You're in for a good one. A bunch of cool features we're going to dive into, talk about their implications, but let's get into it. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. So Microsoft at a recent New York event unveiled a whole bunch of significant AI advancements, including improved integrations with OpenAI's latest technology, which is, of course, the DALLE-E 3 model, and a whole bunch of other personalized search capabilities on Bing. So in addition, Microsoft showcased the new Surface devices, which has, a built-in AI experience, which is really interesting. One of the major revelations was that the impending Windows 11 update is going to be filled with tons of different AI-centric functionalities. So Microsoft's AI assistant, there's going to be Copilot, which is set to debut in September, in I think just a handful of days, September 26th or something like that. And this is one of the primary attractions a lot of people are interested in. Microsoft plans to further expand Copilot across Bing, Edge, and Microsoft 365 this fall. Notably, I think by November 1st of this year, enterprise customers can get Microsoft 365 Chat, which is a new AI workplace assistant, and users can also anticipate some AI-driven experiences in, of course, a bunch of different Windows applications like Paint, Photos, and Clipchamp. It's kind of funny. Clipchamp is actually a cool tool if you haven't used it before. It's like this, it's a video editing tool with a bunch of AI integrations that Microsoft has made. Microsoft Paint, I'm so curious to see the new AI, how the new AI features play out in there. Of course, I don't know if you've used it, but if you haven't used Microsoft Paint in the last 10 years, it hasn't changed from 10 years ago. Pretty much the same, some slight, I'm sure the team at Microsoft is offended by that. I'm sure they've made some improvements, but it's not an incredibly complex piece of software to date, in my humble opinion. But in any case, they're putting a bunch of new AI features in there. It should be cool to see what kind of comes out of that. However, what I will say is that Bing, Microsoft's kind of flagship search engine, was not left behind in all of these AI features. Earlier in March, Bing users experienced the integration of DALLE-E into the Bing chat, which is kind of cool, right? Can generate some images. Even ChatGPT wasn't doing that at the time. But this kind of let them generate images straight inside of the Bing chat. While initially this had a lot of people had a lot of question marks around which version of DALLE-E was actually being used, Microsoft has now confirmed an upgrade to the superior DALLE-E 3. And so that is, of course, the latest version that was just announced by OpenAI yesterday or the day before, I believe.
So I'm losing track of days in the week. In case you don't know, I just live in a cave and report on the AI news to you. So you're welcome. In any case, this iteration has a bunch of advanced rendering capabilities, particularly for intricate details like fingers, eyes, shadows, right? All the stuff that companies like Midjourney really struggled with for a long time. Obviously, these are big challenges with AI generating images, but it looks like we're finally starting to fix those, find solutions. And so that is, something that DALLE-E 3 has fixed. I think to kind of further its commitment to responsible AI usage, Microsoft is really kind of doubling down on generating safe images. So a notable new feature in this edition of invisible digital watermarks on AI-generated images, which is called content credentials, is something that they've just unveiled. And this is a cutting-edge feature that essentially uses cryptographic techniques in compliance with standards from the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. That's the C2PA. And the initiative to enhance transparency in AI images has also been endorsed by Adobe, Intel, Sony, and a bunch of other kind of like big industry players. So this is really interesting, right? We're going to be able to essentially have these watermarks straight on the image that you can't see. They're not, visible to the naked eye, but they're in there, and these softwares will be able to tell what is AI generated. If there's deepfakes or other things made like that. So taking personalization to the next level, Bing now fine-tunes answers to user search queries by reflecting on previous interactions with Bing Chat. This is really interesting, right? It's something I've heard a lot of people say this about ChatGPT, but I don't think it's actually true. But they're like, yeah, like ChatGPT knows me so well by this point that like when I ask it to like act like me and based off everything I've said, like it just like perfectly like talks like me. I'm not really sure like what that effect is, but Bing or like ChatGPT obviously can see its own chat, but I don't think it trains on every single message you've sent on your account and like stores the data for that. However, it would appear that Bing Chat is starting to do that. So a spokesperson for Microsoft said, quote, "If you've used Bing Chat to learn more about your favorite movies, books, or music, future conversations and searches will take those interests into account when providing answers." I think this is kind of an interesting personal touch. It is, however, optional, and users can disable it if they desire. I'm sure a lot of people, for privacy reasons, don't want Bing tracking all of their conversations they've had with it. It's kind of like if Google, saved all of your search history that you've ever had and used that to make relevant search results. Never really actually thought about it. They might actually already do that. So if you know the answer to that question, make sure to let me know in our AI Box Creators Facebook group. Something else that I found really interesting is that in kind of the concept of refining the search experience, Microsoft highlighted the potential for Bing to inform users about events related to past search interests, right? This is kind of like, I think like Spotify does this, where if you listen to an artist a lot or follow them when they're going to go on tour, like it'll give you a notification about them going on tour. You'll be able to see that on their page and stuff. And so I think they're kind of like trying to get extra insights like that integrated. I think the overarching aim is to make search results more relevant, drawing on the context of a user's search history and current web activity. So there you go. It looks like this is what Bing is rolling out now. And still, I don't know 100% if Google does this, but if Bing is kind of rolling this out, it's likely that Google has or will do this in the future. In any case, for enterprise users, Microsoft is set to extend support for multi-modal visual search and image creator to Bing Chat Enterprise, which is essentially benefiting over, I think, 160 million users that are currently integrated with the AI workplace chatbot. So it's not just about Bing and Windows when it comes to all of these different upgrades. Like I mentioned, Microsoft's SwiftKey, which is a popular third-party keyboard app for iOS and Android, is also getting AI-boosted features. So beyond the intuitive kind of, typing experience, SwiftKey will soon have AI camera lenses, AI stickers, and AI-driven editors and AI image generation capabilities. So users can look forward to over, I think, 250 tools and filters. Many of them are coming from a collaboration with Snapchat in kind of like getting these out, which is really interesting. I did not see a Microsoft Snapchat collaboration on this, but very cool. And I think kind of rounding up all of the enhancements is the AI-powered editor feature that promises instant grammar, punctuation, and spelling feedback. Now, of course, this is something we've all been experiencing for a long time, so I'll be curious to see how much better this is than normal spell check and other things that we see. But yeah, definitely an interesting feature. So I think Microsoft's kind of continuous effort to throw out a ton of AI features is not new. Of course, we're seeing this from a lot of other companies. Google is doing the same thing, constant AI features and integrations into all of their products and services. And I think at this point, users really like this. They see a lot of value in it. These software companies, it's like one of the things they're able to raise their prices for, unlike anything else. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of kind of AI being integrated into everything, whether that's Microsoft, Google, Apple, or whatnot. Well, we'll see about Apple. But in any case, a lot of people a lot of big companies are integrating this into everything. And I think this is a trend we'll continue to see.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.